Instagram Stories for Monday, January 27th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. There's a lot of news to get into. Today, we're going to talk about the latest on the TikTok ban in the United States. The head of Instagram is going to share some tips on how to ensure your content is ranked appropriately in the algorithm for the maximum chance that people are going to see it. The YouTube creator team gives a bunch of updates about what they're working on. And most excitingly, a feature that I've wanted for a long time is finally being rolled out, and it's going to make content that you post on multiple apps a lot easier to handle. I'm excited to get into it, but first, here's a word from our sponsor. Welcome back. Let's start with the latest on the TikTok news as respects the ban here in the United States. President Trump last week put in an executive order which gives TikTok an additional 75 days to secure a deal to keep the app operational in the United States. However, that order does not negate the law that's already been enacted. So technically, TikTok is illegal in the United States at this point. You may notice that TikTok is still not available in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, and it's because of that reason. So President Trump is looking to secure a new deal for TikTok. Over the weekend, there have been reports suggesting that the Trump administration is working with Oracle and Microsoft to facilitate a new deal in order for TikTok to meet the obligations of the enacted law and still be operational in the United States. However, as reported by NPR, quote, when asked about the Oracle talks on Air Force One on Saturday night, President Trump denied being in discussions with Oracle's Larry Ellison about a TikTok takeover. President Trump said, quote, Larry is a friend of mine. I never spoke to Larry about TikTok. I've spoken to many people about TikTok. There's great interest in TikTok, end quote. So this is really unclear at this point. I wish there was more definitive news around it, but I will say that continue to use TikTok while you can, but be prepared for it not to be around necessarily after we reach that 75-day mark. Let's move on to more news. There is a new social media feature that I am so excited about because it's something I've been talking about for years and I've wanted to see, and someone has actually implemented it. One challenge that I have with stories is that if you post a story on Instagram, you have to separately post it on WhatsApp and all the other platforms that have stories. Now, when I first started complaining about this, a lot more platforms had stories. Some have taken it away since then, but others have rolled it out, like TikTok. Interestingly, WhatsApp in the account center now has an option for you to share a story that you've added to WhatsApp, also to Facebook and Instagram. I think this is a phenomenal idea. Why should you spend time posting stories to each individual platform? That is completely a waste. But most of the platforms do not have story APIs that other companies can hook into to make this all a lot easier. They have it for posts and reels and so forth, but in order to link the platforms together for stories using an API, that's historically not been possible. This is a very interesting feature. I'm very excited that WhatsApp is rolling this out. I'm going to link to a blog post from about.facebook.com explaining how this will work and showing a screenshot of it. But I think this is a very big step in the right direction, and I'm hoping that more platforms integrate this cross-platform story. Let's move on to some YouTube news with a short video from the Creator Insider team talking about some new updates that they've made to the YouTube dashboard, adding Q&A stickers for vertical live streams, what they're doing with short templates, some mini player improvements, and how you can leave your feedback on what you want to see improved in the YouTube studio. Here's the clip.
What's up, Insiders? We're back and hope everyone had a safe and relaxing new year. You know the drill, it's news day, so let's get into it. Heading into 2025, the studio team is looking to improve the dashboard, so if you're interested, this is a chance to influence the product you use. We've added a forum in a pinned comment below, and would love it if you take a few minutes to leave your feedback. Next, you can now add Q&A stickers to your live streams on your mobile devices. Q&A stickers are an easy, customizable way to engage with your audience in real time. This feature is now available both on Shorts and vertical mobile live streams. Check out the short in the description to learn more. Last year, we introduced Shorts templates, allowing users to recreate or repurpose videos. We've improved the feature by supporting import of photos in the template creation flow, as well as introducing a toggle countdown timer to replace the default 3-second countdown timer before recording. Let us know what you think. In 2024, we launched design updates to the YouTube app. If you missed them, you can check out our video below. With those changes came an update to our mini player, which we've heard your feedback on. The team is continuing to test new features to improve its functionality, and if you're part of the experiment group, you may see an updated user interface and docking capabilities for some content. We'll keep you posted as we gather feedback and if we expand the experiment group more broadly. And that's it for this week. From the creators of YouTube to YouTube creators, we'll see you next week.
I love that the YouTube Creator Insider team is making those videos, and I will continue to share them on the show. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the head of Instagram is going to break down some key things you need to know about ranking on the platform and the best way to ensure that you show up in people's feeds. Stay tuned. Welcome back. The head of Instagram recently made a video where he talked about the 5 things to keep in mind if you want your content to be recommended on Instagram to people who do not follow you. This is very important. If you want to grow your following, you want your content to be shown to people who do not follow you. Here's his explanation of how ranking works in 2025.
The second in a short series of videos about how ranking works on Instagram. And this one's focused on recommendations and how to have your content show up. Now, if you don't know, recommendations are when you see a piece of content from an account you have not decided to follow yet. And they're an increasingly important part of Instagram, and they're how we're growing the overall pie and trying to drive as much reach to as many creators as possible. And if you want your content to be eligible to show up to people who have not decided to follow you yet, you need to meet these 5 criteria. 1, no watermarks. 2, make sure you add audio, particularly important for photos and carousels. 3, if you are posting a video, make sure that it's 3 minutes long or less. 4, make sure that the content is original. And that doesn't mean you can't work with someone else's content, but you have to significantly make it your own. So I could take someone else's video and do a green screen on top of it and give my commentary. That would be original. And 5, make sure your account is in good status, which you can check by going to profile and to account status. So if you want to maximize your reach and grow your follower count as quickly as possible, make sure you do those 5 things. And it'll help a lot, I promise. More to come soon.
Did you catch those 5 things? No watermarks, add audio, especially if you're posting photos or carousels, make sure videos are 3 minutes or less, post original content, and check your account status in your profile to confirm that your account is still in good standing. All of those things, very important. Since we seem to be in the Adam Mosseri section of the show, let's do some Threads news. Adam Mosseri posted on Threads on Friday, quote, "We're starting a small test for ads on Threads with a handful of brands in the United States and Japan. We know there will be plenty of feedback about how we should approach ads, and we are making sure that they feel like Threads posts you'd find relevant and interesting. We'll closely monitor this test before scaling it more broadly, with the goal of getting ads on Threads to a place where they are as interesting as organic content." I will link to this Threads post so you can see it for yourself. I personally am not a fan of this whole concept, and I'm not looking forward to it at all. I respect that, obviously, platforms need to make money, but I see enough ads on the internet. I use an ad blocker for a reason, and I will continue to use an ad blocker on Threads, even if I have to use it in the browser. You may not be as sensitive to ads as I am, and that's totally fine, but ad blockers exist for a reason, and I always recommend using them. That is going to do it for the news from today's episode. If you have a chance, I posted a new video of my wife and I doing a lip sync, which we made into a reel and a TikTok. Depending on which platform you follow me on, I'm at Daniel Hill Media on both. Please go check it out. Give it a like if you enjoy the content. We really like making lip sync videos, and it's a fun way for us to spend time together and do something creative. So please give that a like or a comment. Be sure to come back next time when I break down what the head of Instagram shared on his recent Ask Me Anything.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree, but actually that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.